Donald Trump really is his own worst enemy because he'll take a situation that isn't really that bad and then he'll turn it into a thing. Something that doesn't need to be a debacle turns into this giant thing because he just can't let things go, ever. He just thinks about it and he stews over it and he's got to comment on it and then end up looking like a bigger idiot than if he just left it alone. Now, to let you know what I'm talking about, first of all, let me give you the context. So, he recently had a meeting with Apple CEO Tim Cook, and this happened.
You got to start doing it over here, and you really have. I mean, you've really put a big investment in our country. We appreciate it very much, Tim Apple.
I thought that was funny. It was goofy. But look, we all acknowledge that it was an honest mistake. People were clowning on him, and Jeff Amazon was trending, and it's, it's funny. But obviously, nobody's questioning whether or not he did this on purpose or was trying to be malicious. That's not even part of the discussion. The conversation is about, look at this funny gaffe that Donald Trump just did. He called Tim Cook Tim Apple. Funny. But Donald Trump saw that people were making fun of him, and it just started to eat away at him, and he started to stew over it, and he just couldn't let it go, which led to him then tweeting about it and making matters exponentially worse, saying, at a recent roundtable meeting of business executives and long after formally introducing Tim Cook of Apple, I quickly referred to Tim plus Apple as Tim Apple as an easy way to save time and words. The fake news was disparagingly all over this, and it became yet another bad Trump story. Really, dude? You're choosing to tweet about this? I mean, you made a gaffe, and we all acknowledged that it was an honest mistake, but we were still talking about it because it was funny. When I misspeak oftentimes on the podcast, I'll just laugh at myself because it's funny. We all do it. It's part of the human process. But he had to go and tweet about it and make matters worse because he literally tried to come up with an excuse as if, no, it was purposeful. I didn't misspeak. I meant to call Tim Cook Tim Apple to save time. I don't know if he realizes this, but this is actually a scene from The Office.
Why waste time? Say lot word when few word do trick. When me president, they see. They see.
Why? Why would you say this? Why would you say this, Donald Trump? Why couldn't you just let it go? Why did you have to go and make this a thing? Why couldn't you just admit, look, I misspoke and it's funny, poke fun at me all you want, but we all do this. Everyone would have understood that because, yeah, everyone misspeaks. This is part of the human process. But you had to go and try to justify it to make yourself look better, but you didn't realize you just made yourself look like a fucking idiot, more so than you already did. I mean, how much time are you saving by calling him Tim Cook or Tim Apple instead of Tim Cook? See, I just misspoke there. Perfectly fine admitting that. How much time are you saving, Donald Trump? In fact, since Apple has 2 syllables and Cook only has 1 syllable, you'd save more time if you just called him Tim Cook. So your reasoning doesn't even make sense, but that's not the point. He said it because he can't stand the prospect of people not thinking that he's perfect. Well, newsflash, buddy, I've got a reality check for you. Nobody thinks you're perfect. We already think you're an idiot in an area where you weren't necessarily being inherently dumb. You just misspoke, which again is something we all do. Now you made it clear that you are the fucking moron that we all laugh at all the time. And as someone pointed out underneath that tweet, guy who rambles incoherent bullshit for 2 hours at CPAC 2019 is now splicing names to, quote, save time. Exactly. Why can't you just let it go? He has to respond to any and all criticisms, and he can't just accept, look, I fucked up. I misspoke. It is what it is. That's life. but he had to try to flip it in order to take back the narrative. I mean, Jesus Christ, if you want to talk about snowflakes, Donald Trump is the biggest fucking snowflake of them all. And he kind of did the same thing with the Covfefe tweet, where later on he said, well, I'll let you guys guess what I mean by that, or something along those lines. You fucked up typing. It was a typo. Why can't you just admit that you make mistakes? Nobody's perfect. You're certainly not perfect. You're an idiot. So we all understand that you're going to probably be more prone to mistakes than the average individual, but if you make a mistake, you just own up to it. I call him Tim Apple. It's funny. I'm glad that you guys all found that humorous. That's what you say. You don't stew over it like a fucking idiot and then try to say, no, I was calling him Tim Apple to save time because, using a word with 2 syllables instead of 1 is more efficient. I mean, Jesus Christ. I don't know why I'm even talking about this story because this kind of reminds me of the Amy Klobuchar story where she ate a salad with a comb. But, I mean, even though it's not necessarily substantive, it does tell us a little bit about the president and just how petulant he is, where he can't stand people thinking negative about him, even if it's in the most benign, banal, insignificant sense. He misspoke, but he can't allow us to think he misspoke. I mean, it's unbelievable. What a moron. Our president is basically Kevin from The Office. Wow. Reality, I think, is officially stranger than fiction.
Subscribe if you like this video, folks. Mike's tremendous, and he's doing a really, really good job. Many people are telling me about how wonderful the Humanist Report is. Bigly.